Okay. Why am I having such issues today? I just have to laugh because here I am. I wasn't even ready and I hit go live. So I've got to show you guys some things first. Some of it's actually kind of funny. Oh, God, I got to turn that light off. It's just way too much, too bright. How do you like my new hair? My new fake hair. I'm going to pull this off. I ordered this for the wedding. Okay. Now, as you can see, my hair at the end is dark, so it wouldn't be too much of a thing. Hey, good evening, Saturn. But this is black and gray, not brownish and gray like my hair has faded. So I've been playing with this thing all day, and I think I'm going to end up giving it to the cats as a toy. I haven't decided for sure yet. It's definitely not me. So I've been playing with it a little bit this afternoon. Hey, sweet bee. Um, so I'm back here in Tamarindo. I'm in Costa Rica again. I survived my flight back. I'm here. I'm in my Tamarindo clothes again. I'm in my bedroom trying to unpack 10,000 suitcases. I got a pile of towels behind me. I bought towels in the States for every room of the house that needed them. And Sandy, I'm glad you think so. This has been one of those days where I wasn't going to do anything. I slept in till 10. I wasn't going to do an online thing, but I kind of was forced into it by the behavior of other people. This morning I got up and saw that one of the Reddit things, one of the ones, hey, PlayStation, plays in the rain. I'm not going PlayStation. That should how ding dot I am. I slept until 10. I knew I was exhausted from all the travel and from getting up at the ass crack of dawn the day before and everybody's drama where they were fighting over whether they were have a seat or not. Okay, so I knew I was exhausted, so I slept in. I got up late and I immediately saw that there is a community. There is an anti-KJ community that is calling for the members to go real life on that troll. I am not a fan of going real life. And I said something, and a couple people got on to me for being all lectury and stuff. And then a couple people said, yeah, I get it. A couple more said, no, whatever that troll gets, she's earned. While I may not disagree that when you do bad things and bad things happen to you, you've kind of earned it. I mean, from a karmic alignment standpoint, look how I'm the wrong color. The colors were not right. There was white in this, and that was it. So, hey, Dances in the Rain. Um, oh, Tracy, yes, you are. You are here while I'm wearing my fake hairpiece and playing with it and talking about what's going on with that troll. Apparently, the troll is having some what I'm calling average backyard work done. I'm not even going to call it luxurious. Some people were saying it was her bragging about her money. I don't think so. I think it's just pretty average stuff. I mean, every now and then we have to have these things done where somebody digs something out and puts in a patio for us and all this. Well, there were people that were looking up the statutes in the town she lives in and speculating on whether they needed to call the law on her, saying maybe she didn't have a permit and all kinds of just crazy, crazy stuff. Lexi, I am too. Trolling is a huge leap from going real life. Nobody deserves real life. Sweet Bee, that's exactly right. And for them to say that they are going to call the coding people to make sure that the troll has a permit for putting in a new patio, it's going too far. It just is. It's one thing to say, it's horrible some of the stuff she does. It's a whole different ballgame when you start talking about calling this person and doing that. I mean, I look back at some of this stuff like, does anybody remember when Michael Saltz was swatted back during the whole Tati Westbrook thing? Someone used Skype to call the police in his area and say he had shot his family and was or armed in his home. Fortunately, in his area, the police apparently knew him well enough to know that was BS and called him up. But there have been many cases lately where people haven't been that lucky and the cops have showed up armed to the teeth and killed somebody. And that's what I'm worried about. Why I say don't ever go real life. That's one of the things that I'm just very upset about when people go real life because it just raises the stakes higher and higher. I'm afraid we're going to see that one is mad at me, by the way. He loves me. He's mad at me. It's like pet me, bite, bite, bite. Um, so one of the problems with going real life is it really raises the stakes, and people start trying to one up each other instead of saying, "Hey, look at my patio." No, look at my deck. No, look at my swimming pool. No, look at my swimming pool with the slide. No, look at my swimming pool with the slide, with the patio, with the deck, with the hot tub. It goes like that. People start one upping each other as a way to, I don't know what they're doing to themselves. I guess they're trying to make themselves feel better about whatever is going on within them. There are certain lines he did not cross, and by getting her in real life is one of those you just don't do it. Saturn, I absolutely agree. You don't. And like I said, a lot of times I've seen these groups, they wind each other up to worse and worse and worse and worse behavior until something tragic happens. I'm only shocked that there hasn't been a documentary series made yet about these real life bad incidents, because people can go to some really extremes. That was always my concern with real. Love him or hate him, all that stuff the Hogs and co were doing could have easily got him killed. Belinda, it could have more easily got him killed than Michael Saltz. Michael Saltz has he has power in his community. He's known to have money. The cops weren't going to just bust in his door shoot him. Whereas real, like him or hate him, doesn't have a lot of power. He's a black man living in a community that hasn't exactly been kind to blacks or people of any color. And all it would have taken was some numbnuts to call and make a similar call. And I guarantee you it would have ended way differently than the Michael Saltz thing. They wouldn't have called him. They would have knocked in the door and blown him away. And that just kind of irks me unbelievably, because it's wrong. And my electricity is flickering a lot today. So if I disappear, that's what's going on. The electricity. And it's so weird being back here after a week and after a month in the States. I'm so grateful to be here. So I can be past all of that. I've talked before about trolls and going real life and said, for me, it would be ridiculous if they called the local police station and said, "Oh, Suzanne Tinkermeyer's in there with a gun, blah, blah, blah." The cop would have been, and he would have been going, on the phone and would have hung up and said, "Estupido gringo," and not done anything, because they tend to handle their policing very, 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 very differently here. And I'm glad, because this is crazy. Oh my God, Troll Girl will get her famous cup and do one of her live streams and lose her mind. She will hit back twice as hard. That's exactly right, Tracy. Here's what people aren't getting when they're doing these things to her, when they're saying, "Oh, let's call the blank Minnesota Department of Building Permits and get her in trouble." The thing is, all they're doing is they're feeding her victim mentality. They're feeding that troll's victim mentality. So that's all they're doing. They're making her worse. They're giving her an excuse to justify, and they can harm the lawsuits that are going on right now, because it will give her the space to be able to say, I'm harassed. People, I'm sorry, I ate chili, and now it's like, oh, that was a bad choice. It feeds her victim mentality. And more than that, it makes it look like there's a lynch mob that's just after her, baying for blood all the time, instead of us wanting her to change her behavior. It makes it look like that. And she'll be able to use that in court. And believe me, she will use that in court. She'll use that in court. She'll stomp on that button. She'll do everything she can to make it seem like she's just this poor put upon reporter. And I don't know about anybody that wants to be able to enable her. And here's the thing, if they start screwing with these lawsuits, and they start giving those fake depositions like happened last time, it will just turn into a goat rodeo of stupidity. It will be the Texas two step with both of your feet tied together on LSD. It'll be bad. Well, I knew the troll quite well. That's why I get the troll sometimes and understand where she's coming from. I knew her well. It gives credit to her paranoia, most definitely, Lexi. And Sweet Bee, we'll get to in 10 days. I'll probably say we'll get to in 10 weeks or 10 months. That's the Costa Rican cops here. They're not as militarized or gung-ho as they are in the States. They just aren't. I have a friend that had another friend who they were fighting, and I think friend number two has mental issues, is the only way I can describe it. Friend number one ended up with custody of friend number two's child, and friend number two was harassing her in town. I mean, really nasty. And friend number one had a hard time getting the policia to let her file a denunciation, which is a restraining order. Restraining order. You can get a restraining order for free here against anybody, but guess what? You have to be rather rather how could I put this kindly? You have to be rather pestery to make that happen. You have to be determined. You have to be determined that that's going to happen, because the first couple of dozen times they may be saying, "Get," and pushing you out the door. I honestly can't blame her for being paranoid at this stage. Like Jay called her hairdresser. Yeah, I know that, Belinda. That is what's so stupid about it all. Is that people weren't calling hairdressers and calling licensing agencies. Man, what is going on with my electric today? I think it'd be a lot better. Oh, I'm doing fine, Dollar Tree Lover, except that I came home to weird white mold over so many substances. So guess what I had to do today? I had to do mold remediation big time. And so I'm running the AC full blast and doing mold remediation, but I'm not going to whine about that. She, on the other hand, loves to play the victim. When people do these things for her, about her, the only thing they do is feed that. And they also detract from what's really going on about the things she's saying about others. I'm talking about that troll. The things she's doing to others, they detract from all of that, because if everybody is talking about, hey, let's all call the dog licensing bureau to see if she's got a license for that dog, they're detracting from the things that she's saying and doing. She may be at that point trying to claim that audio of Josh Duggar's cellmates that every tabloid in the world has is exclusive to her. It detracts from her worst behavior. Do the police carry there where you are? Oh, yes. When I was in Brazil, they didn't carry where I was. Tracy, they carry now. The ones here carry, but they very seldom shoot anybody or pull those guns. They all have them. But what's crazy here is the same thing that's crazy in Washington, D.C. Instead of having like city police, state police, county police, they have, like in Washington, D.C., where they have park police, they have Secret Service, they have police that have nothing to do with the Capitol Police. They've got the Washington, D.C. police. There's all these different police agencies in this small area. They have the same thing here. They have transitos. They have the regular cops. Hey, Prairie. So they've got all these different types of cops in the area, and you have to figure out who to stop for. I had a long conversation on the plane yesterday with a guy who's moving here and explaining about different branches of police and what they do, and explaining that if you are here and somebody wants to see your passport, hey Kim, you should always show them a printout of your passport, not your actual passport. If you hand your passport to them and the person is corrupt, they may try to shake you down for as much as $1,600, I've heard. So you learn quickly not to give them the opportunity to shake you down for money. Some of the cops on the Hill, yeah, if they are Prairie, That's what blew my mind about the January 6th thing. I can't tell you how many times that I've gone in there to watch them legislate something, and you have to give up everything on you. You can't have pen or paper. They have to hold your purse. I mean, just all kinds of just really crazy rules. Gigantic ego. Yep. So there's some of that going on too, and some of them seem a little overzealous in enforcing some of the rules. So I don't know how those. Well, I do know how the people got in, but it's just mind-boggling when it's a building that I thought was like the best protected building, maybe short of the White House, I'd ever see. I don't know. So there we go. So let's not give her any opportunity. Let's not give that troll any opportunity to be able to verklempt and pretend that everybody in the world is harassing her. Let's give the lawsuits a chance to shake out and do their thing. I know that no, I can't even. Uncivil law says that the Chrisley suit is a big old stinking turd. I don't know how true that is. Nothing against nothing against Eric, but I think I want to see what's going to happen before I make that decision. Because the things that were said and were posted on Pathos about Todd Chrisley, they seem to me like they were pretty defamatory. But what do I know? I am not a lawyer. And it's our building. If I'm at the local state house, I am often hold responsibility to protect the people there as much as a uniform, maybe more so. You are right, Prairie, and it is our house. That's what's so bizarre about them doing such extreme gatekeeping to most of us who are trying to go into that building. That is our house. We own that as taxpayers. I don't know about you, but I pay my taxes. That's pretty annoying to have to. Anyway, so that was the other thing I noticed. I noticed some that troll style journalism going on when I was in the States. Jill Rod's mother had a stroke. She posted a picture of her mother intubated. Prairie, I saw that, and I feel bad for Jill Rodriguez over this. Um, everything they're saying about her mother being not much responsive, it doesn't sound good. Here's the thing with strokes: that quicker they can get you treatment, the better off you'll be, the better off you'll do. I am a living example of that, having gotten treatment quickly. Um, so, except this last one, I did not get I did not get treatment as quickly as I should have for this, but I didn't recognize I was having a stroke either. And neither did the doctor I saw. He didn't recognize it. He said I looked too well. Well, my father died from a massive, massive, massive stroke. Okay. Like it sounds like, God forbid, that Trisha suffered, Jill Rodriguez's mother. And the, there's not some really great outcomes with massive strokes because, at best, a lot of people come out. And I point to this sometimes with my own self. I have a relative that's had two strokes similar to mine about the same time I did. She is currently in a nursing home. If you don't get the right kind of care as quickly as you can, and you don't go into the right kind of therapy, especially, you can end up in a nursing home. My father's stroke was pretty massive, and it caused, he became brain dead after 12 hours. And we had to make the decision whether or not to unplug the machinery, which we did. When the stroke is that massive, there's not a whole lot they can do. I have a possibility of strokes, and one of the things that I'm in the process of doing is trying to lose some weight. And I'm saying that here as an accountability because I don't want what's going on with Trish or my father or anybody else. I don't want that kind of stroke. And it seems to me that losing a little weight could not hurt to even the odds a little bit. So I'm praying for Jill Rodriguez, her family, and her mother right now. But I got to tell you, it doesn't sound good. Yeah, most of us aren't trying to overthrow the government. Too much work for me. Yes, exactly. Too much work. Nobody wants to overthrow the government, just like nobody wants to see that troll living in a cardboard box under the interstate. And you definitely don't want to see the child joining her or even Todd at his worst. None of that. So that's what's going on here. That's what I'm doing. I'm cleaning up. I'm looking at this and I'm trying to figure out why people are trying to go real life again. I'm looking at the same old, same old, same old let's blame Meg going on in Twitter and the fighting and the stupid. And I'm just blocking the crap out of anybody that doesn't bring me joy. The Marie Kondo. I'm using the Marie Kondo method. If you're too fighty and bitey, if I want fighty and bitey, I have fighty and bitey over there. I've got stinky. I don't need anybody else being fighty and bitey around me. Um, Prairie, that troll is up to nothing as far as I can see, except for making claims that stuff that was in tabloids was original with her. That's the only thing I can see she's doing. But I've been traveling, I've been away, so I don't know. And there's a bunch of people trying to go real life on her. She posted a picture that she's building a patio, showed workmen doing the dig out where they dig out the areas to go in. And it's just a sort of a normal thing you do. I mean, we do all that stuff. I had sidewalks put in this year. I, hope my trolls didn't try to call the local cops and ask if I had a permit for my sidewalks. Kick, kick. They would have been asking the person back because they definitely don't speak English here. You definitely don't have to put in a permit to build anything here. You just slap it up and away you go. My dad had a stroke 20 years ago and he still has trouble walking. Oh, that is not good. That is not good at all. Well, at least he can walk and he's still alive. That is, yeah, it's no good. I'll probably live for the rest of my life too, but that's kind of how it is. I'm just happy to be up and walking and not being in the nursing home like my husband's cousin is. Speaking of which, my husband had another cousin that died this week, and it really threw a wrench into our what we're doing here because my husband and I had this conversation. It's like, are you going to the funeral? No, because I'm at this wedding in Montana. I can't see doing that. And he's like, are you going to this? No, I'll give up my seat on the plane. Who knows when I can go back? And so neither of us are going. So he tried to get his brother to go, and I don't think his brother is going. It's just a shame. It is just a shame. I would ask the 5-0 if they knew she was hiding a body. Their troll game is weak. That is, you really want to get somebody in trouble, do something major. Don't waste it, this pilly ass calling the permitting places. Bring it if you're going to do it. Not 87 last month. That's awesome. So yeah, bring it if you're going to do it. My ex-husband was suspected 25 years ago of a crime. And my father pointed out to me how it looked like him and how it seemed like him. And I got to tell you, one of the best revenges you can ever have is to talk to the FBI about your ex. Even if they could not find evidence that he actually did this thing that your family was convinced that he did, that the FBI was asking for information. You ever want to piss somebody else off? Turn them into the FBI for something that you think they did. I'm not saying to swat them and to do it for some foolish thing you think they haven't done. But if you have evidence or deep suspicion that your neighbor, your cousin, whatever, has done this horrible thing, it could be a really fun thing to watch. So there is that. There is that. Always fun. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna go. I am wasted. What I'm gonna do now, I have unpacked most of my bags. Well, I'm lying, half my bags, and cleaned up a whole lot of white patchy mold on a million things today. So, Prairie, that's a reason to drop a dime. That's a big reason. Then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to crochet. I am going to crochet and then I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to have another 12-hour sleep. Yes, until I'm caught up with all the sleep that I can. I'm definitely keeping it easy. I'm taking it easy. I am not going to overdo anything. I don't need to end up sick somewhere. Staying away from the whole medical thing. And this, I think I'm going to turn this into a cat toy, this crazy piece of fake hair that did not work out. I bought it and I realized after I'd ordered it, they only had two colors of gray, and this was the darker of the two. The other one was way too light. This one's way too dark. Cat toy. I think it would make an excellent cat toy. You guys all have a good evening.